At 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
He hit and killed a woman while driving with an open alcohol container last year, but returned to duty with San Marcos police without being indicted or even suspended. Records obtained by the night team's Dylan Collier show Sergeant Ryan Hartman is now at the center of another controversy after using a stun gun on a man who had his arms raised and was complying with his commands. It's tonight's Defenders Report.
When we first introduced you late last month to San Marcos Police Sergeant Ryan Hartman, he was shown being handcuffed at the scene of a fatal crash he caused while driving distracted in June 2020. Hartman later admitted a partially full beer can found among the wreckage of the truck he was driving was his. However, after blood tests found no alcohol in Hartman's system, he was no-billed by a Caldwell County grand jury last fall and returned to work 1 month later. The administration for San Marcos Police admitting they failed to investigate Hartman internally, and after he wasn't indicted, had no choice but to put him back to work.
Sergeant Hartman, can I call you Ryan?
But new records obtained by us show just 6 weeks after Hartman put his badge and uniform back on, his actions finally were scrutinized by his own department. After a fellow officer was called to this convenience store along Interstate 35 for a theft January 12th, he saw the reported offenders fleeing the scene in a car driving, quote, very erratic and filled with multiple people. The vehicle stopped about 3 miles away. Enter Hartman, who responded from a nearby call. While the driver was described as verbally and physically non-compliant, a backseat passenger, 23-year-old Albion Leyva, got out of the car and was compliant, records confirm, as Hartman and other officers gave him orders. Internal San Marcos police records indicate that Leyva had his hands above his head, his phone in one hand, his ID in the other, and that Hartman used his stun gun on him a split second after giving him a command, not giving Leyva enough time to even comply. A second officer used his stun gun on Leyva shortly after Hartman did. Questioned by Internal Affairs in May about the incident, Hartman answered yes and no when asked if he had used a flawed tactic.
Is there anything that you would have liked to have done different?
Yeah, there's several things I would have liked to have done.
He then offered an excuse for using his stun gun on a man who had his hands up, a temporary loss of hearing.
And thinking about it now, maybe I had some auditory exclusion or under stress and was hearing the driver, Stefan's, continue aggressive statements and cuss words.
I think it's absurd to make statements like that.
Kevin LaChapelle, a former officer who is now a police accountability expert, isn't buying it.
The bottom line is, to be a police officer, it requires someone to have very strong situational awareness and someone that can act under pressure. If we have people that are not able to do that, then they probably should not be in law enforcement.
And even though Hartman confirmed watching body camera footage of the incident while writing his report, it ended up not being consistent with what had actually taken place. In July, department officials suspended Hartman for 1 week and ordered him to go through retraining, but were nice enough to let him forfeit paid time off instead of actually serving it. Confirmation of Hartman's suspension comes as the fallout from the fatal crash he caused continues to mount, and as San Marcos police officials have once again changed their story. Their most recent claim is that the district attorney handling the case didn't officially confirm the no bill until December 7th of last year. The Bastrop County DA, the special prosecutor who presented the evidence to the grand jury, called that false, telling us in an interview he spoke to San Marcos Police Administration and Hartman's criminal defense attorney shortly after the no bill was handed down November 1st. Hartman's attorney confirms receiving that call. Additionally, the no bill is listed on literally the first page of the Bastrop DA's public file on the Hartman case. For the Defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Leyva was charged by San Marcos police with interference with public duties. Nearly 9 months later, though, the Hays County DA has not moved forward with filing that charge. All 3 charges against the driver remain in pre-file status as well. San Marcos Police Chief Stan Standridge told the Defenders that he would not be providing an interview for this story. Tonight, we're hearing from the family of missing mother Crystal Garcia after investigators say a body found in Comal County is believed to be hers. That discovery made last night in a field along York Creek Road near I-35. Garcia, a mother of 4, has been missing since September 17th. Police say they found blood in her apartment during a welfare check. Security footage showed a man leaving that apartment with a heavy-duty garbage bag. Investigators later identifying that man as Francisco Ventura. Police say he confessed to his family that he attacked and killed Garcia. Ventura was arrested on Sunday while on board a bus headed to Mexico City. Right now, he's only charged with tampering with evidence and resisting arrest, but San Antonio police identifying him tonight as a murder suspect. Garcia's cousin says they just want to know what happened.
I want a proper burial, and I mean, she really didn't deserve this, and I feel so terrible that I have to even think about, like, you know, doing a funeral for my cousin because this was unexpected.
An autopsy is now underway to identify those remains found. The recent arrest of a family nurse practitioner accused of sexually assaulting a patient has led SAPD to search for more potential victims. They're not only looking here in San Antonio, but also in Laredo. We told you about the arrest of 40-year-old Sergio Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. earlier this week. One of his patients reported to police that Rodriguez groped her during a breast exam and then exposed himself. Anyone with any information can call the SAPD Special Victims Unit. That number is 210-207-2313. Take a look at this image tweeted out by the chief of U.S. Border Patrol. A crowd still in Del Rio under that bridge, but it's dwindled from just a few days ago. Officials with the Department of Homeland Security saying around 4,000 migrants, mostly from Haiti, remain in Del Rio today. Other migrants have either been deported or released into the U.S. Some arriving at the San Antonio Greyhound bus station, a place where volunteers were there to welcome them and help them on to their next destination. Our Tiffany Huertas shows us that operation.
We used to welcome almost exclusively people who'd been released from ICE detention, and now we're seeing a lot more folks who have been released at the border and are traveling up to their families through San Antonio.
Katie Myers, the bus station outreach coordinator for the Interfaith Welcome Coalition, says they have seen an increase of migrants arriving to downtown over the last week. Many families are Haitian, coming for different reasons.
You know, issues of climate change, issues of justice, issues of crime and violence and ineffective governments and lack of opportunities.
Migrants say the recent devastating earthquake in Haiti and the assassination of their president is also why they're leaving. But why is Del Rio the destination? Myers gives possible explanation.
There are certain places that have a reputation as places you definitely do not want to go, and other places that are seen to be, you know, relatively safer.
When migrants arrive to San Antonio to this bus station, volunteers with the Interfaith Welcome Coalition provide them food, water, baby supplies, and help guide them to their final destination.
They need to get to the airport because they've got a flight. We help them get to the airport. If they're stuck here overnight and need shelter, then we help connect them with that as well.
They are working closely with other groups like Catholic Charities, Raíces, the City of San Antonio, and the Episcopal Diocese of West Texas.
You know, it's a real privilege, and honestly, it makes you very humble to be part of this experience.
Myers says they have about 70 to 90 volunteers who work 7 days a week, and they're assisting and welcoming families that are arriving to San Antonio, but they're always looking for more volunteers and donations. To learn more, visit KSAT.com. Myra?
All right, thank you, Tiffany. Now to an update on an ordinance proposal out of Kirby. That ordinance would change who was allowed to run for city office or city council. It passed tonight with a vote of 4-3, with the mayor being the deciding vote. The change will disqualify a person convicted of a felony, a child abuse related offense, family violence, or sexually related offense unless that person was pardoned. The Kirby mayor says she pushed for this change at the request of voters.
I propose this ordinance from citizens that have come to me, that I am listening to the citizens of this community, and I am standing up for citizens of this community.
Last spring, Kirby mayoral candidate Chris Garza, who had a sexual assault misdemeanor in another state, narrowly lost his bid for office. Beginning tomorrow, Metro Health will be giving out those $100 HEB gift cards to those who get vaccinated. Now, this is for people getting their first or second dose, not a booster shot, and you can only get the gift card by getting vaccinated at a Metro Health vaccine clinic. Anyone 17 and under must have a guardian present. Meanwhile, booster shots are available in San Antonio. The Wonderland Mall vaccination site will reopen tomorrow morning. It's organized by University Health. Anyone 65 years and older and those who are considered high risk are eligible. Boosters will be given out from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Metro Health will also be giving out booster shots at the Alamo Dome site, but that starts next week. Still ahead, this fundraising event so easy to take part in, you can do it from your smartphone or computer. The latest on this year's Big Give. And coming up, how a more than 150-acre plot of land will help us discover more about our water source in San Antonio. And then next, they say this is the job she was born to do. The new title for this Kirby police officer that is a first for the city. History made in Kirby after the swearing in of the city's first female police chief. Take a look. Police Chief Roxanne Cardona stepping into that new role. She was hired as a lieutenant less than 2 years ago. Chief Cardona's co-workers describe her as fair but tough and a great supporter. They say she was born for this job. And tonight we say congratulations. Water is a precious commodity, and it's the Edwards Aquifer that is our most trusted source. For decades, it's been studied and regulated. Well, now more than 150 acres of land is furthering that research. Justin Horn shows us how a chunk of Bexar County has become an above-ground laboratory for aquifer scientists.
To traverse this 150-acre plus plot of land takes a good set of wheels. Believe it or not, this is Bexar County in its natural state. Located along Cibolo Creek, the Edwards Aquifer Field Research Park is a new venture for the Edwards Aquifer Authority. Gifted to the EAA by the city of San Antonio as part of their aquifer protection program, it has shifted part of the agency's focus from below the surface to the green pastures above.
If you use water, then you're relying at some level on the Edwards Aquifer.
Which is why these guys say you should care about what goes into it. And it's why they are set to do long-term research on this rugged landscape.
We have 151 acres where we can work diligently to try to unlock more secrets about how the system behaves.
It'll likely take years and includes observations of how quickly water funnels into the aquifer and construction of land management projects like berms and swales.
Gives us maybe an idea of how effective some of these practices might be in, slowing and spreading stormwater runoff.
One of the important things measured here is evapotranspiration. It's measured atop this tower, and it's essentially measuring how much moisture is coming out from the ground and from the trees and plants around us. It's an important component to knowing how much water gets into the aquifer.
Which may not sound too exciting to you and I, but the future of our water source is at stake, especially when you consider that a changing climate is at play here too.
We have to continue to maintain flow at the springs and provide water for people. So we have to really understand how climate change might impact things over the next several decades.
A pathway to sustainability.
The higher we can keep aquifer levels, the more it benefits everyone. It benefits our permit holders, it benefits the springs, it benefits spring flow.
Justin Horn, KSAT 12 News.
Still about an hour and 45 minutes left for you to make a difference through a local nonprofit. Today is the Big Give in San Antonio. Organizers say nonprofits need monetary donations more than ever because of the pandemic.
So this event today allows donors to go in and support those nonprofits directly to help make up those loss in funding that they had last year and continuing this year.
More than 400 nonprofits are participating this year. The Big Give ends at midnight, and you can go to biggivesa.org to donate and find the list of all of those organizations. Let's take a look outside with live cam tonight. 72 degrees. What's not to love? about the weather pattern we're in right now, Adam.
And Myra, earlier today at 6, we're talking, it was energizing today.
It was. It is a mood booster.
Yes.
This low humidity.
Something about it today, I just had more energy and was more gung-ho about everything. You
had more energy?
Scary, huh?
I know.
It was scary for a bit.
Let's be careful with this low humidity.
You should have seen me working out today outside. All right, so this morning was the coolest we've had since April 24th. Another fall-like night, of course, ahead of us, and a fall-like start to the day tomorrow. The humidity and rain chances are just around the corner, however, and you're going to feel that humidity in just a handful of days. Now, today we started off at 56. Well below the average low of 68 and our high temperature 87, actually 1 degree below average. And look at this. We're actually hard pressed to find 90 degrees for a high temperature today. Del Rio 91, Pleasanton 91, and then Carrizo Springs and Cotulla made it at or above 90. So let's talk about temperatures, talk about how cool it's going to be tomorrow morning, and also how things are going to be changing in the days ahead, because we do see a pretty drastic shift in our weather pattern. But looking across the Lone Star State now, refreshing 60s in the Panhandle, even some 60s along the Gulf coastline. Marfa even at 66, so a mixture of 60s and 70s for the most part. We all cool off at different rates around here. Del Rio at 80, meanwhile 70 in San Antonio, and New Braunfels right now at 67. If you like to sleep with your windows open, do it again tonight and really the next couple of nights. But keep in mind, fall elm is high, mold is still elevated as well. Tomorrow morning, 50s again, 55 Hondo and Canyon Lake, 58 San Antonio, 59 Cotulla, Hill Country, some lower 50s and I think some upper 40s here and there in the Hill Country. Bernie about 53 in the morning. Timberwood Park 55, Lavernia, Elmendorf 57. So another refreshing start to the day. But look what happens through the weekend. We see those little baby steps upward into the low to mid 60s for morning temperatures. That's still below the average of 67. And lack of humidity in the air. So yeah, the numbers will be back into the 60s, but still very pleasant. It's next week, Monday. That's when the humidity's back and the mugginess is here to stay for an extended period. Lack of humidity now, dew points 40s and 50s, mostly in the 40s in our area. That'll be the case through Sunday, then Monday. There it is. The mugginess returns. And with the humidity will not just be the moisture here at the ground that we feel in the air and the mugginess and stickiness, but also above us and a little swirl in the atmosphere to help stir things up. Look what's happening off to our west now. You get into northern Mexico, New Mexico, and Arizona. Activity on the radar. We're seeing some showers and storms being kicked up. An upper level disturbance is dropping in there, and this is going to be basically camped out to our west all weekend long. So through the weekend, around here, sunny and comfortable, and of course dry with a lack of humidity. But this upper disturbance that's already causing showers in the desert southwest, that's going to get closer to us by Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday. It's going to pass over parts of Texas, and it should throw enough energy our way to give us some somewhat encouraging rain chances for the middle part of next week. So this weekend dry, Monday a 20% chance, then we slowly bring it up to a 40% chance by Wednesday and Thursday. So some encouraging news in terms of rain chances. Of course, we'll keep fine-tuning that forecast as we get more information and more updates and let you know. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine tomorrow, no humidity, east-southeasterly wind at 5 to 10, and into the weekend. High temperature still right near the 90-degree mark, so close to average for this time of year. And then next week, mostly mid-upper 80s with those rain chances.
All right, thanks, Adam. Let's turn to Greg now. High school football big game up in New Braunfels.
Yeah, and our game of the week on the MeTV KSAT 12 TSP game of the week tonight was a doozy in New Braunfels, Smith Valley against the Unicorns. Everybody was there. So were we when we come back. All the highlights for you that game. And the Cardinals at UIW are flying high after the biggest win in school history. Coming up. The battle of the unbeatens in District 27-6A as third-ranked Smith Valley Rangers hit the road to New Braunfels to take on the ninth-ranked Unicorns as our KSAT 12 MeTV Texas Sports Productions game of the week. The Unicorns strike the first blow. Check out this pass from 1 yard line of Smith Valley. Aiden Bauman throws up the arching lob to Lance Beagley. He makes a nice grab over the defender for the touchdown. 7-0 Unicorns, but the Rangers aren't done for long. The ensuing kickoff will be fielded by Braden Buvitas, and look at him slice his way through the defense down the near side before cutting back. 95-yard touchdown return, second quarter now. After all that running, Travis McCracken is going right up the middle, powering his way into the end zone on the 2-yard score. The Rangers were up 13-10 at that point. The final from the Broncos, 41-24 Rangers. A Gucci Bowl had to be delayed since it's now a district game between the Clark Cougars and the Churchill Chargers. Clark on the move, Nick Lee on the bootleg, and he spots tight end Cameron Adams downfield for a big gain. A little later, running back Chris Gertz is going to cap out this drive with an 11-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Cougars in the final from Heroes Stadium. It is 17-0 Clark. What a game at Gustafson Stadium. It's the Holmes Huskies taking on the undefeated John Jay Mustangs, who had last weekend off. The Huskies' only loss this season was to Taft, 14-13 defeat. And now tonight they dominated Jay. Christopher Medelez to Ernie Solis on the sideline. Check out the nice move to slip by that defender on his way to the 25-yard touchdown. The final from Gustafson. Holmes wins big, 41-14. Memorial up 20-10 over Highlands in the second quarter at the Rock Pile when we arrive, and they add to that lead. Running back Alex Villarreal is going right through the Owls defense. The 13-yard score. Memorial takes a 17-point lead when we depart. Let's check the final from Alamo Stadium. It is 34-30 Memorial. The West Campus Cougars hosting New Braunfels Peeper Warriors tonight at South San Stadium. Their first season back. Call it a warm-up year, if you will. The Warriors were commanding lead, 29-0 when we arrived in the third quarter, and they weren't slowing down. Jay Straken with the play-action pass over the middle to a wide-open Jax LeGrand. The 6-yard touchdown made it 36-0. Let's head to the big game coverage scoreboard for that final and more. You see South San West Campus falls 57-0. It was Faith Christian over Holy Cross on the road, 42-0. And Taft outlasts Harlan, 42-35. San Antonio's own starting again for the Dallas Cowboys. Next.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
When the Dallas Cowboys host their NFC East rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, in their home opener on Monday Night Football, marked the 15th start of his early NFL career for former Steel star Terrence Steele. He was forced into action last year at his rookie season as an undrafted free agent during the COVID-19 pandemic, and again this year due to the 5-game suspension of La'el Collins for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. Terrence tells us he spent this offseason working on strengthening his lower extremities and has slimmed down from 320 to 310 pounds. He's also very well aware of how much the Alamo City loves the Cowboys from his time at Steele High School.
The fan base in San Antonio is crazy. It's everyone down there loves their Cowboys, and their emblems are everywhere, back of cars, just the front. People got flags in their front yard and stuff. But San Antonio they had a huge fan base out there.
Rookie Davis Mills making his first NFL start tonight in the wake of Tyrod Taylor's injury as the Texans play host to the Carolina Panthers on Thursday Night Football. Panthers bounce first. Sam Darnold's able to score on the ground on this 5-yard touchdown to go up 7-0. But the Texans answer. The rookie marches the Texans downfield on a 7-play, 65-yard drive, capped off by this 1-yard pass to a wide-open Anthony Miller. But the point after attempt by Joey Sly is wide right. You got to be kidding me. 7-6. Third quarter, same score. Panthers at first and goal. They hand it to the tight end Tommy Trimble coming in motion. He gets in for the touchdown. It's an 8-point Carolina lead at that time. Let's head to the scoreboard to check that final for you. And the Panthers come away with a big win, 24-9. The University of the Incarnate Word Cardinals are coming out their biggest win in program history when they beat Texas State Bobcats in San Marcos 42-35. Where quarterback Cameron Ward threw for 376 yards and 4 touchdowns that earned him the Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Week honors. Now they host McNeese State this Saturday, a team that is coached by former UTSA head coach Frank Wilson.
Frank does a fantastic job, and have a ton of respect for him and his program. And I think last year with the Hurricane, they kind of got a late start, but you can tell in the film in their 6 games they got better each and every week. And so I think this is a totally different team that we're playing right now than what we did 6 months ago. They're going to come in here and try to hit us in the mouth and play physical. We know that, and so we got to match that effort and go out and do our job.
They'll be ready. Kickoff is early on Saturday at 11 a.m. And if you missed anything tonight on our big game coverage on Thursday night, no problem. Just go to bgc.com. I have all the highlights posted for you tonight. When you go to the game tomorrow night, take your phone and follow the BGC app there for all the highlights and also all the live streaming games we have, plus all the scores on Twitter. And then join us, of course, on the Nightbeat.
There are a few ways to keep track of all this.
We have many ways to take care of you. There you go.
Thanks, Greg.
Sure.
We'll be right back. That does it for the Night Beat. Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30. Have a great night.